We're gonna do a wrestling one.
Oh
Actually,
man.
we're gonna do two. If Frank is gonna be on the show, I promise him two. But here's the first one, of course.
Okay.
For me, I'm gonna go first. Although a lot of people will bring up No Way Out, and I can't argue No Way Out, the match against Brock Lesnar. Um, it's WrestleMania 20, the match against Kurt Angle, great match. And after the match in the triple threat heavyweight championship match between Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and you all know the other wrestler, I won't bring up his name. But after the match, Eddie Guerrero, God rest his soul. I mean, even though people look at him negatively, but him and the other wrestler to share that moment, guys, I gotta be honest with you, I still cry to this day. It gives me, I cry because even though you look at that other wrestler because of what he did, but still, when I look at that moment, it just gives me tears because I think about what a great moment it was because of the journey that those two went through. I mean, from WCW, Eddie, man, I mean, he was fun. The charisma, Viva la Raza, him always entering the arenas with them low riders and all that stuff. But it's still WrestleMania 20. My God, that moment, it just gives me goosebumps. It gives me tears to this day. I still cry to this day when I actually look at that moment. So, other than No Way Out, WrestleMania 20, that's still like my favorite moment. Even though you look at the other wrestler negatively, I won't bring up his name, but it's still Tis. Oh, it was a great moment. But Champ, I'm gonna let you go. What was your favorite Eddie Guerrero moment?
You know what? Uh, One of my favorite Eddie Guerrero moments, man. First of all, rest in peace to the late great one. That's number one.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest people love to put him in a box. And I've said this before, people love to put a lot of wrestlers in the box when they went to the WWE. But you got to think about what he did to let WCW survive as well. Because when he was in the cruiserweight division, he was no joke.
No, he wasn't.
He was no joke. I mean, one of the all-time greatest high flyers you ever want to see. Classic matches, not only with his nephew Chavo, but with Rey Mysterio, Chris Jericho,
Dean Malenko.
Dean Malenko, you Juventud Guerrera.
That's the most that cruiserweight division in wrestling history, yo. Like,
Yeah, that division was stacked. And like I said, he gets put in a box with with his WWE career, but his WCW career could have been could have been just as rewarding had he not been underutilized, had they not been so focused on the heavyweight main event guys that came over from the WWE at the time. But my favorite one is when he had Big Show in the ring, man, and I never forget he
Oh,
bought out that garbage that
oh,
garbage dumpster stuff. I don't know what that was, but he sprayed
him
Big
and
Show.
Chavo. Oh,
Yeah, he tripped up the Big Show and sprayed him all over with that sewage. It was a that was an epic event. That sewage was some serious because that was and it didn't even look like sewage either. It was like some mixture of stuff. Looked like they mixed some like they mixed some mud and all types of different stuff in there. It was some crazy stuff. But the fact that he had that hose in his hand just spraying them down like that, that's and the way the segment would, it was crazy because remember it was just like a practical joke. They remember they pulled out the rope in order to trip the Big Show up, and you know how goofy the Big Show looks when he falls. So for
yes.
him to spray him with that sewage was crazy. It was crazy, man. That was the funniest moment, arguably I've seen, man. Arguably I've seen.
Luis.
For me, SmackDown 2004, 2 days before the No Way Out pay per view, Brock Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero had a segment together, for the go home show for SmackDown for No Way Out. And Eddie Guerrero cut a promo on Brock Lesnar or to Brock Lesnar about what the WWE Championship symbolizes, how it because he told the story how in Minnesota in around like 2002-ish, 2003-ish, he got high in the showers of Minnesota, and then he had to be carried out, and he got released from WWE, and then he came back, and then he was talking about that the WWE Championship symbolizes, a better education for his family, more money, more gifts that he can promise his kids, just freedom, and showing that he made it. So that's that. Just the way he cut the promo, it just chokes me up because I don't know. That moment, it was real because you can feel the pain in his voice, how hard he worked to get to that moment, and it chokes me up even more knowing that after the whole show was over, Brock Lesnar, it leaked out that Brock Lesnar actually ran to Eddie Guerrero backstage and gave him a big hug. And because you can look back at that promo and see Brock Lesnar is trying so hard to stay in character, but that was one of the best promos I've ever heard. So definitely the go home promo for No Way Out that he cut on Brock.
Eddie had a lot of charisma. A lot of
Yeah,
people, the fans, they loved him. Oh man, I mean, when I heard about the horrible news that he passed away, I couldn't believe it. I
yeah,
couldn't believe it. But man, in ring, boy, he was fun to watch though. The high flying, the frog splash, the three amigos. I mean, he just brought an excitement, and of course, when he won the championship, remember SmackDown when he walked down to the arena and when the fans they just celebrated him.
greatest celebration ever.
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he was a true champion, and the WWE. Oh, I miss him. I miss him a
Hey,
lot, man.
let's not forget the build up right before No Way Out. Remember with him, the war with him and Chavo leading up to that
Oh yeah, remember?
in the
I
Royal
think the
Rumble.
match at Royal Rumble. Yeah,
Yeah, that
and
was
let's
a
not forget the Royal Rumble in which he beat the great Kurt Angle.
Mhm.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
Man, Eddie was generational. Like, isn't it fair to say that for Eddie? Generational. Like, we'll never see a man like him ever again.
It
That's
yes.
was
for sure.
special.
Yeah.
Special. He should have been in movies. That's how great he was. So
He
much
was.
charisma, so much versatility.
He was.